today's pick a pile reading is going to be with 3 different oracle decks. So this is group 1, this is group 2, and this is group 3. And the reading for today is Silence is Golden, What Was Left Unsaid. So I intend for these messages to not only be from people that you feel estranged from, whether it might be ex-lovers, family members, or even friends, but also from people who have crossed over to the other side. So I'm definitely opening up this reading for those kind of messages too, and just setting the intention for gaining whatever closure you might need right now, in whatever relationship it might be. So with that being said, let us get started with group 1. So I also did pull out some oracle cards for every group. So I'm going to get the oracle cards first. Let's see what came up for this group. We got Nerefetum, Renewal and Rebirth from the Egyptian oracle. Ugh, I hate it when this card comes up. So it's one of these cards from this deck called an archetype deck. And this is kind of like a joker card, so it doesn't really have anything on it. So I guess in this case, when this card comes up, it means that there's going to be a lot of different people coming through. So male, female, different ages. So take that into account in terms of this reading. And in terms of group 1, we have Prince, but I'm picking up a mostly masculine energy in this group. And even like a younger male, if I can say that. And with the heart chakra coming up for this oracle card, I feel like with this group, it feels like it's from a lover, an ex-lover, that you might need some kind of closure from, or communication, let's put it that way. So let's have a look at some of the archetype cards. So we have dilettante, light attributes, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So the first thing that I want to do is identify the energy of the person who this conversation would be coming from. So like I said, I am picking up like a young male energy quite heavily, but I'm also picking up someone that that takes on a lot of hobbies. Like it's from one thing to the next with them. They're always on like some new kind of like task or some new challenge or whatever it might be. That's something that I'm getting. But not in a bad way, like someone that's quite multi-skilled. But I also feel like a kind of person who doesn't end up finishing many projects. That's definitely something that I'm getting. And then the shadow attribute says pretension to a much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So I think for this group, what's important in dealing with your relationships is that you have a really big heart chakra. And I think that you are very sensitive to others and empathic and caring towards others. And sometimes it's that itself which causes you heartache. So like I said, there is going to be a variety because it is a huge group of people. But for most of you guys, I feel like this is about heartbreak and about deceit, because I'm looking at this card here, Prince. And the first thing that was highlighted to me is that in this card, he has his hand behind his back and there's flowers behind in his hand, but it just looked like more like a surprise to me. So I feel like in this connection, you found something out, a truth about something that caused you to feel or think differently about this person. And it also feels like a kind of situation where you didn't get to have a conversation over it. It feels like you were like kind of ambushed in the situation, in that like whatever information came to light, maybe because that person was either not in your life anymore for whatever reason, or didn't make that time to have the conversation with you. But I can definitely feel like it feels like someone took something away or something was lost, whether that actually be a relationship maybe. So I want to actually start with the oracle card. I like to read out of the oracle book for one of the cards at least. And with the Egyptian oracle, something that they're highlighting to me in this picture of Nerefetum is the kajal or the eyeliner. So that is something that can be used for eyes. For those of you who do wear dots, like a black dot is also something that you can do for eyes, but they are highlighting that to me. And maybe with that being said, you know what I'm also really getting is that with idols like religious statues, they do try to outline the eyes very much with kind of black paint, so that it's emphasized. It's this kind of intimidating look, because this is a male energy, this is a male character, that's the eyes is being highlighted. So it's not necessarily about kajal and makeup, but I think it's about a protection. And I also feel like maybe you had really great eye connection with this person. Like when you made eye contact, it felt comfortable, you felt like you were seeing home in the eyes, you know, it felt very organic and natural to you. So let's see what this card says. Renewal and rebirth. Nerefetum is the spirit of the sacred blue lotus flower. The son of Sekhmet and Ta, he is powerful and quite a magical healing god. This Neretu emanates a creative pulse and divine fragrance of inspiration that impels life to ascend to higher realms. Nerefetum can assist you to balance yourself energetically to equalize your earth, fire, water, and air elements as you visualize his presence. With the light and always positive energy, Nerefetum is an easy god to work with. And then a channeled message from Nerefetum says, I was born from a blue lotus and I am a spirit now. You too are undergoing a rebirthing time, so recharge yourself with fragrant baths and meditations and pure essential oils. So to intervene here, I feel like you guys are in a place where you are releasing. Whoever this person may have been to you or whatever they did to you, I just saw a cat in my mind right now, and not so much like it was more like a cat, like a domesticated cat rather than a big cat. So maybe as I was saying that, like whoever was, maybe someone was watching this video and I feel like maybe their cat jumped onto their lap or somewhere visible to them right in front of their face, but I was definitely getting that energy. But besides that fact, a cat in Egyptian culture is very sacred, because there's an Egyptian goddess called Bastet, a very powerful feminine goddess that has a cat head. So cats are actually sacred and worshipped in Egypt, and in fact in Egyptian households it was very common to have cats in the home. Not only to protect from mouse but also from evil spirits. So there is a lot coming up here about eyes, and I think that with whoever it is that you were dealing with, there was a lot of attention around it. So it does feel like heartbreak and disappointment, but also a lot of attention that was drawn to it as well. So it really feels like you're releasing, and it feels like you're learning your lesson over here. I didn't read, okay, let me finish reading here first. So it says, as you learn to live life as a lotus flower, always seeking to grow upwards to the light, open your petals wide and know joy is already within you and awaiting rebirth. Then it says, abundance, this is a time of new beginnings, so have patience and know abundance will follow your hard work. Love, time to focus on developing a new relationship rather than committing to one. Absolutely. So like it's like I feel like the relationship that's coming up here is a past relationship, in a sense that I don't think that this is a relationship that's going to be revisited in this lifetime. That's what's coming through here. Work or career, a good time to start your own business or new job, especially if involving essential oils and flowers. Allow time for extra study to nurture your plans. Travel to Egypt, France, or Thailand, or any place you'll find blue lotuses. Lavender fields are recommended. Health, use essential oils, especially blue lotus oil, on your body and bring harmony to your spirit, or have an aromatherapy massage. Family, new babies in your family, renewal of family relationships that bring joy. And in future, looking good, lots of miracles are ready to start manifesting in your life. And I did mention about family here. I feel for those of you who this is a family member. And I feel for some of you, I am picking up a father, or it might be a husband who's a father to your children coming through in this group quite strongly. Like a young male energy, okay, the father in about the 40s, but I'm also picking up like a younger male energy too, like 35. I feel like those people are two separate people, two people coming forward that could have been fathers, and that would be your husband. 35 and 40, I am getting those ages specifically. But let us now get some of these oracle cards. So this is the deck that you guys picked. So let's see what's coming up here. I had to leave that way. We were just talking about a young dad. And I just heard who lost his life. So I feel like it could have been something that was quite unexpected and something that was very difficult to understand. And I'm definitely feeling the energy of people who have lost a partner in this group. I have a new understanding. So this is for those of you who this doesn't have to do with the romantic love. I feel like you guys are in a place right now where you are deciding to not let others affect your energy and to affect the way that you see the world. And I also think that you're trying to be more gentle with yourself and realizing that it's nobody's fault the way things go. I feel like you guys have faced a lot of disappointment in your relationships and a lot of abandonment. A lot of people, either from death or just choosing to leaving you. Another message coming up says, if I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. I just got the sensation of playing a piano. So I don't know if like maybe someone who's watching this video does play the piano. I don't think someone playing the piano right now, or maybe you're listening to something in the background, but I feel like it's the person who, I feel like this was an ex-lover who really liked music and maybe was self-taught with musical instruments, and could like listen to a song and then like mimic it. And I think that the message that's coming through from there is that person now realizes that you were a really genuine person, but the way that they treated you, it's like they can't take steps back, or they don't feel like they can take steps back because they feel so much shame over it, because we have here, it's not your fault. So a message that's coming through for everyone in this group is, however this person exited your life, for whatever you felt like was left unsaid, it was nothing that you did wrong, and it was the time for that person to leave your life. I'm also getting like imagery of the ocean too. So in this card over here, there is a picture of the ocean with and also an image of footsteps too. I'm really getting an image, a feeling of a dad, a father coming through very, very strongly. And I feel like this father could have two children on the earth plane right now, maybe a younger boy and an older girl. That's coming through quite strongly. So I want to get some letters, some indicators here for who it is that's coming through the person. We have psychic connection. So someone that you may have had a psychic connection with, or you do have a psychic connection now. Spirit baby. So what I was saying about that father is really coming through. Then we have Shriti Baba, and we also have I. And this was coming up over it's not your fault. So I feel like this person is really trying to take responsibility, or their higher self, rather than them, because you wouldn't be doing this reading if you got closure, or if you got to say or hear whatever it is that you needed to from this person. But I think like one of the things that their higher self is saying is that don't take the way that I treated you as a measure of your worth and how other people should treat you. We have telepathy and the letter Y coming up. We also have the letter K coming up. It could also be with people, this is for like lovers, that maybe didn't stand up for you in a time when you needed them. Then we got I communicate through car number plates coming through. We have Mother Earth. We have the letter E, which makes me think of elephants and Lord Ganesha. We have JT, astral communication, and chaser. Let's see what else we have on this deck. Karmic ties, T and sun. Okay, karmic ties is coming over. I have a new understanding. So I feel like that's for you guys, in a fact of this relationship and the way it's affected you in this lifetime. You are working through your karmic lessons regarding it. Then we have D, the letter D. I think of you often. Lord Muruga. We also have sun coming up. Water. J again. And H. And then we have twin flame. And awakened. And K again. And E again. And Lord Hanuman. And Lord Buddha. Lots of spirit guides coming through for this group. And even when I was reading that oracle card, it was like a recommendation to work with that spirit. Dream messages over it's not your fault. Oh, and chaser is coming up again. So I feel like this message about it's not your fault is specifically for a twin flame that's in separation with their twin and has been dreaming of them recently. It feels like your twin isn't able to approach you yet because they still feel so much shame over the way that they treated you. So you might be dreaming of them in instances where you see them, but you're not actually having any engagement with them. So they are just grappling over their own emotions about how they felt in this connection and feeling very ashamed. Here, twin flame again, and Al, and then we have Mariam, and feeling very ashamed of the way that they treated you. Al is coming up again, and chaser. So it's kind of like and cleansing as well, and I did talk about that with this group. And then we have X. So I don't, for most of you, and T, for most of you, I feel like this relationship that we're talking about, what was left unsaid, for most of you, I feel like this relationship is over. Whether, like I said, it has to do with death or just a separation on the earth plane and a decision, I feel that it has run its course. But I want to get an indication with some letters of some people who this doesn't apply to. So people who have picked this group, that this relationship isn't over and they can potentially expect some kind of communication or resolution in the future with the person they're asking about. Oh wow, we have union coming up. We have Y, we have T, K, F, grounding, past lifetime marriage, and L. Okay, so now, and moon, we also have moon coming up. So if you're a Pisces, Cancer, oh my gosh, moon and sun, that's crazy. Nice and synchronistic there. And then let's see what else. I am also feeling a little bit dizzy, so if you guys have been having dizzy spells, wow, we have J and H again. What is that? J, H, H, J. Is that somebody's initials that keeps coming up? I don't know. What could this stand for? Let's see. Can't remember what I was saying before that. Looking at those letters. And I just saw a lion in my mind, so maybe some of you guys might be a Leo. And in separation, I did talk about that with some twin flames. So I just want to get some oracle cards now to just round up the message and see. Silence is golden. What was left unsaid? What does this person have to say to this group? What do they need to say? What do they feel like they didn't get to say or they should have said? I feel like they want to say that you were someone that they felt like they could always count on, and that also made them feel very youthful and in touch with their inner child. Someone that they felt like they could let loose and allow their playful side to come out, and someone that they considered as a friend. And these are especially for those of you that this refers to a lover. In terms of, I don't feel like this person has in the past had a lover where they felt so organic with in this way. But I also think that something that they would tell you is that this connection has caused them a lot of stress. And I feel like this person is a lot of things to a lot of people. And I think part of the problem is that they didn't give you their time and their energy like you gave to them. So I think that like they worry about how they betrayed you in that sense. They stress a lot. They don't necessarily worry about karmically how is this going to end up, but I think that they feel the heaviness of guilt and shame in the way that they treated you. And then we have Page of Swords, so definitely trust issues coming up, and this is coming up over the Prince. So that's definitely, it could even be a third party situation like an affair, and then you didn't get closure there. And I feel with that, I feel like this person with the book has been reading up on you or stalking your social media page to see where you're at. With the Wheel card, I feel like you finally are realizing that this wasn't your fault. It was just part of your karmic dues. With the Page of Wands, you are still finding yourself a little bit stuck, still thinking about the memories of that relationship and still feeling very nostalgic in it. And I think that's why you're finding it difficult to move forward and release, because you're realizing that there was so much about this connection that made you feel healed and at peace with yourself. So, but for most of you guys, it is the right time to release it. And also, besides that, nothing is set in stone. So what's right for you now may not be the same as what's right for you in 2 days from now even, or 2 years from now. So give yourself that leniency, give yourself that space to understand and to process through whatever you need to about this relationship. You know, don't be hard on yourself about how you think it should be happening. Okay, so let's just actually get a few of these oracle cards, because this is going to give us an indication of star signs. I also just got the sensation of like smoking a cigarette, so maybe you just lit up a cigarette, or maybe you are a smoker. We have Libra, and we just entered Libra season. And we also have Aries, oopsie daisy, and we have third house communication. I really feel like something big is that they want you to know that as much as with their actions they didn't show it, they really valued your friendship. And then we have Sun, we have Pluto coming up, so that's Scorpio, Leo, we have Aquarius, and Pluto again, so Scorpio coming up. Okay, so that is all the messages that I have for this group. I hope that you guys enjoyed your messages. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to my channel as well. That way when you subscribe, I can also pick up on your energy a bit better with the collective readings, and then maybe you'll also get some more specific messages. But I hope you enjoyed them, and let me know what resonates in the comments below. Okay, so this is the reading for group 2, and this is the deck that you picked, but I did also pre-shuffle some oracle cards. So we have, I don't know if this is pronounced Happy or Happy, Hapi, Water Spirit. This is from the Egyptian oracle card. Then we have Don Juan from the archetype deck. We have Child, Nature from the archetype deck, and we have Lover from the archetype deck. Okay, and then from the last oracle deck we have Purple, Third Eye coming up. And in the last group, that card was also a chakra card, so that's interesting. And I also think that for you guys, you need to be working more intentionally with your chakras for your healing. So I think for this group, it's a lover that's coming through the most strongly for sure. An ex-lover. I feel like for some of you guys, it could be a person that you were in a long-term relationship with, that you didn't get closure over how they hurt you or the way that they went about the relationship. And I think that that person, like, they maybe like used your relationship and like the love that you gave them as a more platform to stand on than something to reciprocate. Because the shadow attribute of the Don Juan over here says, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So maybe like someone dated you to seem like cooler to others, or to fit in here or there, or it feels like they had ulterior motives that you maybe found out about later in dating you. For child, the light attribute says friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits. So you guys could have pets that you're quite close to that's coming up. And I think that what's coming up there is that's a good way for you to heal this pain that was caused. The shadow attribute says tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. Very interesting, because I used that thing about the abuse and this kind of idea about putting forward one image so that you can take advantage of the situation. Or let me put it this way, like it's manipulation. That's the word that I'm looking for, that I'm getting over here. Manipulation and abuse of power. That's what's coming through. I feel like that was an issue that you had with this person, that you feel like there was things that were left unsaid. Like for some of you, I feel like it could be someone that you worked with, that you maybe felt like used you. I don't think for everyone it is a lover, but that energy is coming up quite strongly. I feel like for a significant portion of you, and those of you particularly that are in relationships, committed long-term relationships, you've been doing a lot of work on your inner child. So I think that you've been dealing with the concept of bullying a lot and trying to figure out where your boundaries are. And with the third eye, I feel like also really seeing beyond people's nonsense, you know, seeing the truth of your reality. And it says third eye clairvoyant. So you guys are definitely getting a lot of psychic messages. You're definitely picking up on this person's energy. I feel like they are thinking about you. Whether that might be in love, I pick it up more in lust than love. Because if they were initially manipulating you, then what would change that behavior now? And not to say that people can't change, that's not it. But I think that what you're learning is that to take things more at face value instead of wearing rose-tinted glasses and seeing the world and seeing people. And also, I feel in the past, the way that you were is, especially in your romantic relationships, that if I treat someone a certain way, I don't expect them to treat me differently. I just saw a diamond ring in my mind. So I mentioned about, for some of you guys who might be in a long-term committed relationship, for those of you who are married, and two of my friends come to mind that I feel like picked this group. One of them's name is Adele and the other one's name is Michelle, which rhyme, that are working on their inner child right now, and I'm suspecting I'm gonna pick this group. And what's coming through, like I said, is about this idea of bullying and setting boundaries. So about saying no, and also like doing it for yourself and not making yourself feel guilty for setting up those boundaries. You're giving a lot of love, attention, and respect to that inner child. So let's have a look at what oracle cards are coming up here. The light attributes of lovers says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. So maybe when you were with that person, you felt very loved and very seen. And then when they left you or they took away that love, it was very stressful for you guys. I feel like you may have even been having panic attacks and struggling with what is love, because there's a lot of energy coming up here about your guys are saying, please relax, everything is going to be okay. And that they want you to talk about your feelings more and just take one step at a time. Some of these oracle cards, so it says let go of stress, don't take on other people's stress, breathe it out now. So definitely are picking up empaths in this group. But I feel like for this group, your psychic ability in the third eye chakra is actually what's upgrading right now. So as much as your heart chakra is quite strong, the focus in your energy that I can see is on the third eye. But with this lover card, with this animal card coming up, and lots of animal imagery, I mean, you guys literally picked the unicorn deck. So you must love animals and babies, and I think those kind of creatures are very drawn to you, little vulnerable creatures, because you have a very light and pure nature about you, and trustworthy as well. But I think that as an empath, boundaries are so important for you, and that's why it's going to be good for you, or better for your energy, to spend a lot of time around children and animals. With relax, don't worry, it's all going to be fine. For those of you that have been facing a lot of challenges in love and a lot of players with this Don Juan, I hope that my pronunciation is not too terrible. But yeah, I feel, and I'm also seeing music notes here too. And I'm thinking about Kuch Kuch, and this came up in the other reading, but in a different way. I'm thinking about the scene where Rahul, he gets back, he meets Anjali when she's an adult, and he's like all in love with her. And I remember as a child feeling so angry because like he just left her for years. He rejected her, married another woman, had a child with another woman, and now he's back, and he knew that she was in a relationship, but yet he still did his piano thing and danced with her, you know? He was like doing this whole using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas, because that was definitely not the best thing for Anjali. I think that we can all agree that the best thing for Anjali would be for her to stay with Aman, but you guys seem to pick the players. That's the problem. So I hope that you guys, and if you haven't watched that movie and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, maybe you should go watch it. And I always say in that movie, there's a very clear example of the distinction between a twin flame and a soulmate that you can see. Another good example of that is Jane the Virgin, where Michael is her soulmate, but Raphael is her twin flame. Okay, let's see what's coming up for this oracle card here. Number 13. Water spirit. This baboon-headed god is another of the 4 disciples of Horus, and represents the need to work energetically and with thought before undertaking any action. Best to prepare your plans and alchemically create change by visualizing it happening first. The channeled message from Hapi: I am Hapi, god of the east, and you see me sitting by a canopic jar which held the lungs of the deceased. Oh wow, I did say that for some people, like they may have people who have a passed over loved one coming through. When we get initials and star signs and that kind of thing, I will hone in on that a bit more because I can see it's coming up. I hide my true function as a force of nature or spirit. Your nature coming up so much for you guys. So you definitely need to get out there to ground, to recharge your heart chakra, or spirit that circulates energy throughout your lungs and body. And breathing, like about relax. You guys are struggling to breathe. You're so stressed out. You need to work on breathing techniques with meditation. I bring change and growth to you. So release your fear of me and I will bring you great healing. You can meet me by meditating with this picture. And I just mentioned meditation. So definitely something for this group to either do some more research about or like try and instill it in your day-to-day practices. As you hold it in your hand, ask me to be with you and flow healing energy through your body. I will make you shiver with delight. So this is a water spirit, so you can just simply connect with the water element. And then card meaning says abundance, do more research and work to achieve your dreams. There will be a flow of finances coming to you. Love, a separation of the elements is happening here. To heal this, you need to release resentment over a past relationship and then ask for a flow of loving energy to fill your lungs and heart. Work or career, seek more joy in your life and work by studying and preparing and then applying for a promotion or new work. Change is coming up a lot. Travel by ship or water would be beneficial, but book early and plan ahead. and it's Mercury retrograde, folks. So make sure you are checking details, especially for like things like that, like flights, you know, or classes or tests, appointments. Health, check your lungs, stop smoking, take a course in healing. Family, some dissent and conflict can be resolved by counseling and a careful thought. Future, looking good as long as you continue to plan for success in life. Also something, as I was saying, that is the castle is being highlighted to me. So maybe some of you guys are planning or saving to buy a house or to move out. That is coming through. And what I want to do now is get some oracle cards, some cue cards here to get some letters. And okay, we have cleansing. We also have M or W coming up. We have the letter C, and we also have the card sex dreams coming up. I mean, this person does have a very flirtatious energy. We have J. Oh, that could be my friend Jivesh. I feel like could have picked this group. Then we have Sai Baba, incoming phone call or text message, psychic connection, N. Travel, that did come up a lot for you guys. Runner, untapped psychic abilities, cleansing again. With water, obviously. NE. With incoming phone call or text message, you could, oh my goodness, you could expect this person to contact you soon. So we just had Lord Narasimha pop out, and then what else do we have here? We have dream messages, so you could be dreaming of this person. Oh, Jen. I had a friend in school that's name was Jen, and I actually, like, we were talking about bullying, and it was actually funny. When I was in grade 6, I arrived at that school in grade 5, and when I was in grade 6, she actually bullied me, and it was so bad that I actually talked to a counselor. And then in grade 8, we ended up becoming like the best of friends. But like, as I'm reflecting on this in your guys' readings, that's exactly what's coming up, is that you may actually have faced a lot of bullying through your friend circle or in your family group. We also have S coming up, or Sen. And then what is the other thing that I was seeing? We have A. Oh, we have Y. So that might be some with air, some air signs coming through. We have twin flame at the bottom of the deck. Z. Soulmate 2. I communicate through social media posts. I communicate through songs. We have the letter H as well. Let's get okay, just trying to get these cards together. And something that I also want to tap in more is like we were talking about, we have M coming up again, proposal and union. We have Durgama, about the someone who's coming through. I feel like it's a grandmother, but I have the letter B coming up. But I feel like maybe you called her, like it was her name had something with a B. Oh, we have Lord Buddha coming up too. But I feel like it was a grandmother. Like, I feel like I'm hearing party, and then M again, or Ma with the M. I do feel a grandmother coming through. Who else is coming through for passed over loved ones? Let's see what we got here. Okay, we have Mari, Aman, we have G, we have cleansing, and we have marriage. So it could be some, I don't feel like for most of you guys, I don't feel like it's a lover that you lost. Oh, we just have 111. So for someone that's watching, oh, and we had 111 fall out again. Wow, your guys' cards are so jumpy. Children from past lifetimes, chaser. Let's get a couple more cards from this deck, and I specifically want to, we have sun coming up. I specifically want to focus on crossing over messages that might be coming through. And as I said that, we have J again. As I said that, crossing over messages, with Kalima, we had incoming phone call or text message, and then telepathy. So your passed over loved one is definitely gonna be contacting you soon in your dream state or whatever the case may be. And their name, and we have G again. So perhaps Govender, maybe their surname was, I'm just saying that because that's my surname, I guess. Then we have Divine Feminine coming up here. And then I still need to get oracle cards for you guys. So let me put these away. Oh. These cards are very jumpy. I'm not even gonna shuffle them in because it's like I feel like I don't want to put them down. I would recommend that you guys, because especially if you want to communicate with someone who's passed over, getting some cards with letters on it can really help you. Like you can get initials, or you can spell out things. You can identify them that way as well. Like I have on some cards initials, I have angel numbers like 222, I have like cleansing for that kind of message that needs to come through. Whenever I see the letter Q, I always think about question mark. So maybe this person knows that you have a lot of questions for them, and that's why they haven't come forward and said whatever they needed to say. Because the reading is called Silence is Golden, What Was Left Unsaid. So I feel like they are embarrassed about how they used you. And I feel like this person, if I could say, is still in love with you, or maybe for some of you, maybe just still obsessed with you or lusting over you. With the Four of Swords coming out, I feel like what this person would have said to you if they had the balls is that I didn't take action. You were someone that I feel like I could have started a family with. Someone that felt like home to me. Your person might be a Leo, because they're coming up on the Sun card and the Queen of Wands, or you might be a Leo, and this person, I also believe, thinks that you're very beautiful and attractive. Someone that was very different from other people that they met and connected with. With the Emperor coming up, this person may have had their own business. The Six of Chalices is giving me soulmate energy. They may have had their own business, but quite a controlling and dominant person that's coming through. With the Eight of Wands coming up in reverse, that's telling me I feel like this person wishes that they took more control of the situation at a time when they could take more action. But I feel like they're saying they see now why it wasn't the right time. And I feel like this thing about timing is heavily coming up about this group. For those of you that are asking about a love connection, it really does feel like this could be one that's destined in the stars. Like I'm still feeling a lot of pull in this. But besides that fact, you mustn't take away from how that person may have hurt you or treated you, because you need to deal with those emotions in order to move forward. I'm also seeing like a leopard over here, a leopard or a cheetah. And then we have an eagle. We mentioned about so many animals, cat, dog, squirrel, so many animals here. I do love animals personally. I guess I feel like this would probably be my group actually, I'm realizing now. They're also highlighting a necklace to me. So for those of you who this is a passed over loved one, they may have left some kind of jewelry or some kind of, I feel like also I'm getting the word artifact. So something that like looks really old to you that you can't actually practically use, but that reminds you of them. I also feel like for someone here, I'm seeing flowers. So I feel like if it was a lover, this person could have bought you flowers often. I'm getting a lot of things with the flowers. I'm also getting a sense of like a grandmother or a grandfather who spent a lot of time in the garden in their dying days. And for a grandfather, I feel like this is someone that could have had cancer. And then for the other thing I was getting with flowers was putting flowers on a grave or offering flowers like at a lamp or for Pitat Park for a, I don't know if I said that right, for dead people's prayers, for that kind of thing, offering, that's coming through. And then if that was you, then they just want to say thank you. And 10 of chalices is actually indicating it could definitely be a family member, but it's different for everyone in this group. But yeah, that was a lot of messages that did come through for this group. I hope that you guys enjoyed them. Lots of fiery energy coming through, quite intense energy. And I think I just put the 8 of Wands back in the deck upside down. So what that's telling me is that you are getting messages from the universe and your guides, but I feel like you're not quite processing them through yet. Like whatever is going on karmically in this relationship, you're feeling a little bit stuck with in understanding your emotions. So actually what I want to do is just get some Akashic record cards to close off, and just to get another a little bit more detail on what is so difficult about this connection. I feel a very different energy in this group. Like I feel an energy of a continued connection. Let me put it that way. Let's just get one card for this group, please. What do they need to know about the lessons that they're learning? 3 of Roses, loving elementals. That's about nature again. That's interesting. And then it also has a child here, and then Archangel Raphael. So what I'm getting for this group is that focusing on healing the connections that are already present in your life, like with family members and with your children or your siblings or your parents, working on those relationships is actually going to have a positive effect on your love life and all of your relationships in turn. But I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. Please let me know in the comments if you did. Please also like, share the video, subscribe to my page. When you do subscribe, then I can pick up on your energy collectively a bit better, and then you also may get like a few personal messages. So do that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. This is the reading for the third and final group. Let's see what's come up here. So this is the deck that you guys picked, and these are the oracle cards. Okay, interesting. So for the what is this oracle deck called? I can't even remember, but this card says sun, illumination, growth, God energy. That could also be an indication that we have a lot of Leos in this group, because the ruling planet or aspect of Leo is the sun. And then with God energy, I'm also picking up Ra, the sun god. I'm picking up Lord Muruga as well. I'm also picking up Lord Hanuman. What else is coming through here? We have Fool, Scribe, and Avenger. So I feel like for this group, the person that you feel like there's things unsaid with, or things that haven't been dealt with yet, and I said unsaid with, but that doesn't make sense. I think what I was trying to say with scribe coming up is that you may have done some kind of releasing ritual where you wrote a letter to this person. So also remembering that this reading is not only for people that are alive and you feel like you maybe need closure or you didn't get a conversation that you needed, but also people who have passed on. So in that case, if you haven't written a letter and it's not possible for you to have a conversation with that person, then I would definitely recommend that you do write a letter and burn it, and or even tie it up to a helium balloon and send it out into the heavens, whatever it is that you want to do. I'm also getting an energy of a mother coming through, someone that's lost their mother, um and son. So you might be her son who's watching this energy, this reading. And then for the Egyptian card, we have Horus, Bar Q, Sacred Union. For Fool, it says fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. So this person could have been someone that was quite light-hearted and jovial, especially that mother energy that I'm getting. Like someone that was like, would make fun of themselves to get a laugh or a giggle out of others. And I also think that this person was also really good with words and someone that had a lot of roles to play, like whether it was in your family or whether it was in a relationship with you. And the shadow attributes of Fool says using humor to wound rather than to liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So something that's coming up for this group is that I feel like you guys do this thing where you become sarcastic about your emotions when you do have the opportunity to communicate, and you don't actually take that opportunity to release and say what it is that you feel. And I think that this also has to do part with the fact that you maybe don't totally know how to deal with your emotions yet, which is totally fine and normal and exactly where you need to be right now. But I think that it's important, especially with regards to this relationship, that you start taking the mask off, looking at yourself in the mirror and being honest with yourself about what's making you sad, what's making you upset, what's making you feel like you want to cry out for support or love or whatever it is. Like the more clear you are with yourself, the better you're going to be able to eventually give those things to yourself. Then with Scribe, also something that I'm getting is for people who are trying to get a message from a passed over loved one, I can definitely see that they send you lots of messages with feathers and maybe even through images in the clouds. The light attribute of Scribe says preserving knowledge and information. So that also makes me feel like this person was someone who really prioritized learning, knowledge, education, someone that was an academic themselves, or rather is an academic themselves. But I feel like in terms of a parent, it was someone that really prioritized and supported your education. And then the shadow attribute says altering facts or plagiarizing work of others. So first thing is that I feel like you guys are definitely feeling overworked right now and burnt out. So you may be looking for kind of shortcuts to do your work, and maybe that's coming through with the warning there of plagiarism, because they just want you to be careful, especially with Mercury retrograde, of any silly mistakes due to like fatigue or lack of focus. That's definitely something that's coming up. But I also think in terms of communicating with others and in terms of what was left unsaid, it definitely feels like you did get an opportunity to communicate, but in retrospect or in hindsight, you're probably feeling like you didn't take that opportunity like you hoped you would have. And you probably often think about like, I think like with a lot of you, you feel like you're not going to get the chance again, and you're trying to let go so that you can start like a new adventure with the Fool card coming up. But I think that it's also difficult for you to like be kinder to yourself about the decisions that you made that led to the situation or the feelings that you're dealing with right now. That's the thing, is that when we start to become responsible for our emotions and we can identify them clearly, then we can deal and address them. That's coming through quite strongly for this group. And with that being said, having a look at your sacral chakra, learning about the sacral chakra will help you work through these emotions a bit better. Because the sacral chakra, one of the things is about emotions in the sacral chakra, also relationships, and then fertility too. So if you're someone that's struggling to conceive or start creating a family, then that message is also for you with the sacral chakra. Then the Avenger card says light attribute, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And then the shadow attribute says resorting to violence in the name of a cause. And like I said, I'm heavily picking up the energy of a parent here, and a sense of whoever this is that has lost a parent, the inner child work that you need to do has now shifted and is heavily surrounded around abandonment. So in that abandonment, I think that you've blocked off a lot of your wounding, and perhaps like in terms of like your what you picked up in terms of communication and how you express yourself, you're not being totally honest with yourself about where you got those ideas from, where you got that influence from. I feel like you're struggling to be transparent with yourself. That's why you struggle to be transparent with others. And not at all, I'm not saying that you're a liar. I just saw dream, the word dream. So that maybe you're getting messages in your dreams, but I was saying it's not that you're a liar. I just feel like you are deceiving yourself sometimes about what you think your reality is. Also could be the kind of person, you guys could be the kind of people who spend a lot of time in your inner world, and maybe that's also why you have sun coming up here, because sun is masculine energy. It's about the material world. So let's see what's coming up in these oracle cards. Okay, we have heartbeat. So they definitely are. I am also getting the energy of like an infant or a baby, and now we just got Bazinga and it came up under Fool. So I feel like more than someone being pregnant, I feel like there's someone with a newborn or a young baby that could be watching this video. Lots of purple coming up here. Ooh. Okay, wow, okay. So we got an owie coming up at the top of the deck. Definitely feeling that mother or parent energy coming up about someone who is looking over your shoulder and constantly trying to help you make the right decisions in life, constantly trying to guide you. With knock knock coming up, I feel like there are definitely new opportunities coming in for love. For those of you who tuned in to hear about like a lover or a past friend, like new relationships coming in. I feel like also there might be like a new addition to your family with heartbeat, with either a new pet or a new baby in the family, in the extended family. And that's going to be something that's going to be really great for you connecting with the material world. Because like I said, I feel like you guys are people who spend a lot of time in your inner world. And with everything is beautiful, I feel that they want you to get out more. Like you do a lot of reading and you appreciate the world through art a lot, but the world itself is art, you know? Like the earth plane is so beautiful to look at, so beautiful to experience. And I'm also getting a message about this person feels like you are very beautiful too, for those people that now going in with the lover. Like I said, there's lots of different people who could have come for this reading, and majority for this group, I feel like it's passed over loved ones that the message is coming through. But for people who are wanting to hear from an ex-lover, I feel like this person might write you soon. So send you a text message or try to call you. And I feel in this case, they might try to or have the intention to balance out the wrongs that they committed in the connection. It feels like this was quite a young connection, like not something that was, maybe it didn't end too long ago, or itself it wasn't a long connection. With that being said, I feel like your guides are saying what needs to be processed, or what this person wants to say is that they felt that every moment of the relationship that they had with you was beautiful, but it felt like a dream to them. It felt fake to them. It felt like a warped reality. So it was like you were like almost a runaway space. Do you know what I mean? And I also feel like you guys listened to them really well. You could have gone over to their space a lot, like visited their home a lot, and not vice versa. And I feel like something that you guys are really feeling heart sore over with the romantic connection is a lack of reciprocation. You know, you went forward with so much love, and I think you also tried to go forward being as clear as possible with your communication and your intentions. But I don't think that that person had the same intentions. Like, I think that they had skewed intentions coming into this connection. And I feel that they might be in a place right now where they're either in another connection or very preoccupied by work. But it feels like that connection to them was maybe more of a fling, whereas to you it was more an emotional thing. So in that case, like, what I think they want to say is that they absolutely did enjoy every moment of it. But I believe it's not what they were looking for at the time. That's what they would say to you. And I think that also this would be the kind of situation where you could have this person returning sometime in the future. But I want to read out of the book now, Horus, Bar Q, which says Sacred Union. The temple of Dendera is a shrine to the goddess Hathor, and her consort Horus is at Edfu temple, where within the inner temple is a solar barque or boat. Solar. Each year there was an immense festival with pilgrimages to and from both temples to the river Nile. The solar barque holding a statue of Horus as he traveled to meet his wife Hathor at Dendera, so they could have a sacred marriage. Wow, so this card is actually about sacred union. It's about a marriage. So I feel for most of you guys, this person feels like they're in another relationship, if this is a romantic connection. But even still, I think you probably had a past lifetime marriage with this person, and you do have the potential with them to get married in this lifetime. But in the timeline that we're in right now, it doesn't seem like it. The channeled message from Horus says, "See my solar barque that carries me to my wife Hathor." So we may have many spiritual and sacred marriages. This was a union made in heaven. Oh, heaven is coming up. We spoke about the passed over loved ones. And we wish you to have this union of body and spirit also. I am preparing the way. In ancient days, the priestess worked constantly with energy, prayers, and spells to bring balance first to the temple and then balance and harmony to all of Egypt. We are asking you to do more spiritual work to restore the balance in your love life. And then card meanings, abundance says spiritual and energy practices will restore harmony to your life. Love, seek coaching for difficulties here and study yoga or tantra together as you bring the sacred into your relationships. Your divine soulmate is here. Work or career, consider your work as a spiritual healer or a couples coach. Travel, take a cruise along the river Nile or any long river, it will flow well. Health, problems with reproductive organs are possible. I did say that with the sacral chakra. They are best overcome by having treatments with natural health practitioners. Family, separations and disagreements among family are best resolved spiritually. Future, some difficulties with people around you are best resolved with humor. Wow. And I did talk about that with the light-hearted energy from the Fool. So now let us get some tarot cards and fill in the energy a bit more about what was left unsaid in this connection. We have the Empress coming out. So that's the mother energy, somebody's mom or grandmother coming through. We have the Magician. So that could be Aries energy. Transformation, that's good. That's about change. The Lovers, wow, so big soulmate energy coming up here. And we have the Strength card, the Two of Water, and the Ace of Water, and the Fool card. I feel like for you guys, there's definitely something that's going to be happening in your love life soon for those of you who are single. For those of you who are in a relationship, I feel like you might experience an upgrade in your current relationship. But for singles that pick this group, I am picking up a heavy energy of change in your relationships. So what this person would have said to you if they had the guts or if they came forward is that they feel like you are someone that they manifested. and you were very different from other lovers that they'd met before. So that was very overwhelming for them. They also felt like you were a wish fulfillment, but at the same time, they feel like they took things a little bit too fast. And I also think that if you did visit this person's home, they are not the kind of person to just invite anyone into their home. So they would also tell you that, and they would want you to know that the relationship, even if it was short, was something that was sacred to them. And I don't think that this person is in a space right now, especially if they are in a relationship, a new relationship where they can openly admit it even to themselves. But that's why we have these kind of ways of connecting with spirit, right? Because in that case, we're trying to bypass that, or bypass isn't even the right word, because this reading is about what would they have said. So of course you would be clicking on if you didn't get the conversation. With the messenger of fire, and this is something that I was picking up for this group of people who are married, it definitely feels like there's new opportunities in career coming up for you guys. I'm definitely getting that, or like maybe even new hobbies. It could be money related, but I feel like what is coming forward for your money and your career is something that you've been wishing for a long time. But in order to do that, I feel like you need to make some kind of offering to whoever you work with. So it might be fruit and milk if you are Hindu. If you work with your ancestors, it might be a slaughtering. That's a pretty like hectic thing though. Like it's not as simple as fruit and milk. So I'm sure there's other simpler ways you can get the attention of your guides by leaving some kind of offering at your altar. But that's what I'm getting over here. Okay, so now we are gonna get some initials and some numbers to get a little bit more clarity on who is coming through here. P, we have P, we have Y, we have I communicate through number plates, incoming phone call, text message, and we have J. P, B, and J. Maybe you guys are eating peanut butter and jelly because you're fasting. Okay. Incoming phone call or text message coming over, knock knock. I did mention that. We have H coming up. We also have children from past lives coming up. I dream of you often. We have K. Oopsie. I feel like I want to say PK. I don't know if that's anyone's initials, but it also makes me think of PK the footballer and how he cheated on Shakira, because right now in the time that I'm recording this video, we all as a society found out that Adam Levine cheated on his wife. I think her name is Bahati Prinsloo, and she's 3 months pregnant. I mean, so yeah, maybe this energy of affairs is coming up in your group. Not to say that your person is cheating on you. If this message about affairs has to do with past relations. Then we have psychic connection coming up. I also just heard Janti, like Hanuman Janti. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Well, we do have Lord Hanuman coming up. And chakra alignment too. So it's important for you guys to work with your chakras. Also with the sun card coming up, I feel like it's important for you guys to have good morning rituals, balanced morning rituals to set you off right for the day, like in terms of like what you eat, in terms of like what are the first things that you do when you wake up in the morning. We do have Lord Muruga coming up, which I mentioned earlier. We also have union again, and we had secrets. But I'm feeling like this is more something from the past than something that your guides are saying they are trying to warn you about right now. Okay, let's see what else is coming up for this group. Incoming phone call and text message keeps on jumping out. And we have Lord Hanuman again. We have untapped psychic abilities. For you guys, I can see that you have a really strong solar plexus chakra. We have Shiva Shakti that fell out and children from past lifetimes again. So you guys have a very strong solar plexus chakra. So you could be a healer or in a healer profession, like a doctor or even a spiritual healer, like someone who works with other people's bodies, like a chiropractor, and helps relieve pain. And then we have I think of you often coming up again. Astral communication. 111, we have Z, we have 222 as well. Lord Narasimha, and why? Astral communication. Okay, let me take this card again. Oh my gosh, why again? Fire, awakened. 222, 444, and Lord Narasimha. And soulmate is also at the top of the deck. An A. Oh! And we have an H. We have X and we have 111. So maybe this person is an X that is trying to astrally communicate with you. Karmic ties. We have R, we have Z, we have children from past lives. We have Q for questions that they might have. Okay, we have Q again. So who has questions for you? Let's take a couple more cards. Fire, 222. P. We have G also coming up. M and N. Chaser. And affair, which we talked about. And we have D. Okay, and sex dreams. Okay, so I'm now going to put these away. And I did get an extra Akashic record card for the last group. So I am going to get it for you guys as well. Lord Narasimha keeps on popping up, and there is a lion on here on this picture, and he is a lion god, so maybe he's a god that will be useful for you guys to connect with. But like I said, lastly, let's get an Akashic Records card to see for this group. You got Uriel and the Sphinx. So I definitely feel like for this group you guys need to check into your Akashic Records, but I definitely feel like there's love coming for you. And I think it's a variety. I feel like for some it could be a returning love. For others it's a totally new one with birth coming up. But then with birth, someone may have also recently given birth. That's something that I've been getting heavily. But then we also have a lot of energy about traveling. So maybe it's about going on a trip that you'll meet this lover or reunite with this lover. But I hope that these messages made sense. Oh, let's get one more here. What is this? The Queen of Fire. So they think you're very beautiful, confident, and charismatic. But then we got the Queen of Water. So they think you're also very emotionally in tune and sensitive. The King of Air. So they might be an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. The Queen of Air. Wow, heavy couple energy coming up in this group. I also do feel a lot of married couples that I'm picking up in this group. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please like, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see next. And subscribing to my channel also gives me a chance to connect with your energy and get more specific messages for you. So